Hi, Flosstube. Welcome back. Family's been kicked out. They're over at my in-laws, so I have time to film. And I have a lot of FFOs, really. So this is kind of a retreat summary, I suppose, in ways. Last weekend, I was on the quilt retreat through the quilt shop that I work at, Mo's Needle and Thread. And we go up to a 4-H camp near Cadillac in Michigan. And it's a gorgeous place. All meals are included. And there's various different room types available. The type that I always stay in with my mom is more of like a hotel. We have our own bathroom. So, but anyway, before retreat, I sat down, pulled out all of my finishes, and picked a handful to take with me in FFO. And that was my big goal for retreat this year. I didn't get nearly as much stitching done as in the past, but I'm okay with it because I have a ton of finishes. Everything was pre-cut before I went to retreat, so that was nice. It made it go really quick when I was at retreat. And then what made it go even quicker is that I conned my mom into stitching up the pillows for me because then I didn't have to pull out my own sewing machine. So I pinned everything together for her, and she ran it through her machine really quick, and that helped considerably. So I'm going to start with FFOs, and I forgot one, so I got to grab that quick. Okay, so let's start with, this was a Halloween piece that I finished last year. I love this. This pattern was a freebie from Sandman Originals. I think it was Halloween Quaker 2013 maybe. As you can see, I had to change the date. And that was all stitched with hand-dyed cottons from Hand Dyed by Rolanda. So what I did, I have this easel board. I had picked up a couple of them at the dollar spot at Target and set them aside for finishing. I cut out the two different pieces of mat board. So I've got the fabric wrapped around this bottom layer, got the piece stretched on the top one, and I use stitchery tape for all of my finishing. So really happy with that one. Roxy, here's my second. Cute. This was the original version of this pattern from the magazine before the patterns were all re-released. So all I did was stretch that and put this in the frame. The frame came from Hobby Lobby, so I can just set this up on the piano or something for decorating. I'm noticing how off this is. All right, third. This was a Just Nan pattern, and I had the frame that was from Just Nan as well. Here's the box the frame was in. I finished stitching this quite a while ago, so it was time to put it in the frame because I already had the frame. Super cute. Super cute. There's so much bling in this frame. Can't wait to put that out for Easter. So that is it for like framed. The rest of my finishes are pillows. Various different. Okay. Keeping on with, seriously, the dog has to go out. Why do you always wait until I'm in the middle of my stuff? There you go. Okay. Back to Halloween. Got this one. This was a test stitch that I did for somebody on Instagram, and I cannot for the life of me remember their name right now, but it was last year. And this is fabric that I dyed. And here's the backing fabric. And then all I did, I have this ruffly trim, and this was similar to Rick Rack. I was able to pin that between the layers so it was caught with the sewing machine. So that's super, super nice. A little fuzz on there. So there's finish number 4. Here's a Barbara Anna design. I stitched this last year with Carrie from House of Floss and Fluff. She finished hers a whole lot faster than I finished mine. But here's the pillow. Here's the fabric on the back. I love how bright that is. And then this one, after it was turned into a pillow, flipped and sewn up, I took this trim. So the orange is a flat trim. And then all I did is ran basically a running stitch, but I put beads. You can kind of see. So there's little green beads on top of that trim. And I stitched that all the way around. Number 5. All right, number 6. It was a Halloween finishing kind of weekend. This one I opted not to put any trim on. I don't think I'm going to go back and add any. I don't know. Maybe some chenille trim. Here's the back. This was a pattern from Stitchy Box. So that was number 6. Number 7. Another Easter one. This was a kit, so it came with the lace and the backing fabric. Just a simple little pillow, stitched the lace down. Once I sewed these 2 pieces together first. Yes, I sewed this one together, not Mom. Once I pressed it open, I just stitched the lace down with the machine and then turned it into the pillow. And I tried stuffing that one to be more firm. I'm still kind of, I don't know, not exactly happy with my stuffing. I switched to a natural cotton stuffing, which is great. I love it, but it almost seems like after I stuff it and finish, sewing up where I have my opening, like it's not as full as I thought it was. I don't know. I'm not sure, but whatever. This is number 8. This was a frosted pumpkin pattern. Super cute. And I just used flosses that I had on hand for that one. So I went ahead and put a border on there. I think I did an inch and a half maybe, all the way around. And then same fabric on the back. And then similar to the Halloween finish, this was a flat trim that I had. So after it was stitched up, I went back and hand stitched this trim on and put little beads. There's some purple beads here. So that's all the way around. And this one's going to be for me. I originally thought I'd give it to Ellery, but I'm just going to put this out for summer. Number 9. This is number 9? Seriously? Wow. This is obviously for Ellery because it has her name on it. This was a freebie pattern from, I don't remember now. Brooks Books, maybe? I don't remember. It was a freebie. This originally said thank you. I just took cross-stitch graph paper and wrote her name and then charted it along where I had written it. So this is fabric I dyed. Look at that backing fabric. Is that not perfect? This was a fat quarter from Joanne. So shiny. I had to get it. It was perfect for this piece. And then just like that black ruffle, this is that same ruffle trim where I was able to pin it in between the layers. So that's caught in there with the sewing machine. And last FFO, number 10, is Erica Michaels' One of the Berries. And this was Sunshine Berry. Sunflower. This is You Are My Sunshine. There were some bees charted on there, but I didn't stitch them. If you remember, I also had switched around the stitching because it was charted, "You are my sunshine." But I was looking at it thinking, okay, you're going to read across when it meets in the middle. So I changed it to be "You are my sunshine." But then after stitching it up, I realized that with the angle, I mean, I understand now why it had "You are" over here in "my sunshine." So whatever. It's either, it doesn't really matter. But after I gathered the top, I cut out a piece of felt. Somebody at retreat actually had green felt. So I was able to completely finish this. So I cut out the green felt and I just did a running stitch to attach it around the outside of where it's gathered. Actually, I sewed the button onto the felt first. This button was also from somebody at retreat. They had brought a box of buttons to get rid of. This one was perfect. Actually, they gave it to my mom, so I rated it and took what I wanted first. So that was my first berry finish, and now I'm definitely not intimidated by them anymore, so I can't wait to get the rest of those stitched. And she just came out with 2 new ones as well. It's what are the... One is Santa, I think. I don't know. I just told Mo to get them for me. Let me see if I can find them. Roxy, just hold your horses. She's outside. Okay, so the berries that she just came out with, yes, it was a Santa. It's the St. Nick's berry. Let me get this screen turned down so you'll be able to see it. Okay. Well, thought you'd be able to see it. Okay, so there's the St. Nick's berry. Super cute. And then there's this one, Mistletoe Kisses. And this one is a berry collection. And it looks like there's 2 of them. There's this one up here, and there's this one down here. And I'm thinking, this one says Candy Cane Wishes, just like this pillow. And this one says, and Mistletoe Kisses. And I have to let the dog in before she claws through the freaking wall. Come on, go lay down. Go lay down. So that actually is 3 new berry patterns that I'm going to end up with. Super cute. All right. So that is it. Oh no, it's not it for FFOs. I am so sorry. I have one more. FFO number 11 is not mine. This was a piece that was sent to me by somebody that I told her I would finish it for, and it was Donna, Doodlebug Stitcher on Instagram and Flosstube, and she sent this to me a couple months ago. I think she originally stitched this piece kind of like, I think it had to do with her dad. And I told her I would put it into a pillow for her. She sent me the velour backing. So she sent it to me a couple months ago with the card, and the card said, you know, no rush, I just need it by this fall. And then I found out she passed away. So, that was hard. But I have it finished up. I still have the card that she originally sent, and I'm going to package that up and send it back to her family. So now that's truly it for FFOs. I also have 3 finishes, and I got all of these done at retreat, and they were done in, you'll see why, they're super small. So Stiach, I don't know how many people do that. Right now is the Stiach along. And I joined a team this year called the Wayward Stitchers. And it's a group of stitchers that are all obsessed with the TV show Supernatural, and that's why it's called the Wayward Stitchers, if you are familiar with the show. So we have to do a team, well, we don't have to, but there's a challenge to do a team project where everybody stitches on it. So there's a bunch of us that are doing little motifs about the show and then sending them to one gal that's going to put them together in a wreath for us. So the first one I did is this little moose, and it says, "I lost my shoe." And you will not understand this unless you watch the show. And it is hilarious. Hilarious scene on the show when Sam loses his shoe. So there's that one. And then I stitched Dean, one of the characters, main character. And Dean has a love of pie. So I stitched a piece of pie. And those three are going off in the mail to be added to our team challenge. So that can go in the mail, that can go in the mail. I have a lot of stuff to go in the mail. Speaking of mail, giveaway winners, I'm finally putting those in the mail tomorrow. I have a lot of stuff to go to the post office, so your packages are going to be on the way. Sorry for the delay. Whips. Jumping into whips now. Starting with retreat whips. I pulled out Bent Creek Quaker Easter egg, and I converted it to all sulky floss, sulky 12 weight thread. So that's what I'm using for this, and you only have to use, one strand. And I need something to stick behind here. Here is my start. I got super far. I got bored quick. I had a problem stitching this year. Like, I just couldn't stay focused, I guess. I don't know. So there's one project. And then I started this piece by Stone Street Stitchworks. And it's called Night to Day. I don't have a paper printout. Let me grab the pattern. Just talk amongst yourself. Okay. So this is what the pattern, or the finished piece, will look like. Oh, come on. Here's the piece. There. So there's what the piece looks like. There's a teeny tiny house there in the bottom. And I am stitching it on 32 count raw silver Belfast. It has the silver running through it. And that's as far as I got. Again, just couldn't keep my attention. I don't know. That was a rough day. That was a rough day. So 2 very, very small starts, but I was successful in stitching on my Maleficent. Maleficent is getting stitched in 3 parts. The first part was all of the full cross stitches, and I made sure to get a good picture after that. Sorry, this is stuck. Made sure to get a good picture after the full crosses were done. And then I have to go back and do all the half stitches that are in the background to make it look like I lost my pattern. That's not good. Here's where I'm at. This is as tall as it gets. So all of the full stitches are done. I've gone back to the top and started my half stitches. That's all the background that ends up being like a watercolor effect. And after that's done, I'll take another picture and then go back a third time and do all of the back stitching. And I'm not doing the back stitching when I do the half stitches just because I think it'll be really cool to take the 3 pictures and put them next to each other with the, you know, the overall finish at just the full finish with the half stitches and then the finish, complete finish with all of the back stitching and everything. So, usually I just kind of back stitch as I go. It doesn't really make a difference to me. I gotta find that pattern so I can finish that one. And my last whip is one that I started last night. And I posted this on Instagram, and I've gotten a lot of questions about it already. Let me pull it up on Instagram. So I got this pattern from Cross Stitcher, October issue, and I got it already because I have the digital version through Zinio. So here's the pattern. I love it. Love it. Love it. So I had to do it. So I pulled all the floss and I pulled a fabric from Oksana. I gotta get this pattern off of here. Okay. And I started it last night, and before I started dozing off, I got that first part done. Look at that. So the back stitching in the crow and the eye are one of the light effects threads, and it's the glow in the dark one. So I have to get that out of a different project so I can get that added in. But I love it on this fabric too. I think it's gonna look awesome. Sorry, I'm dropping things. Okay. That's it for whips. I'm gonna have to put that one aside though. I've got some smalls that I have to work on for other commitments. So, like the score new swaps. I played in the basement for a couple hours this morning. And pulled out. So this was the pattern that I had gotten off eBay. And I went ahead and pulled floss. And I just pulled, I pulled a couple that were called for, but then I just pulled from my collection. So here's what I've got. So that's all gonna work for that. There's a black hidden behind there too. There we go. So I think that's gonna look nice. And I'm going to stitch it on this piece of 28 count Tuscan Sun linen that I picked up at work a couple weeks ago. I think it'll work well on there. And the yellow shows up too. So I'm gonna see how that looks. And that should be a pretty quick stitch too. There's one. Then I have a Biscornu to stitch up. And it was from I think it was from a summer theme. So I'm going to stitch this little guy, oop, on this fabric. I'm not a fan of bees, but I mean, I really like this pattern. It's super cute. So I've got all the floss pulled for that. Get it back in here. Okay. And then I pulled out floss. This one took a long time. What I did is, now that the last 3 patterns are out for the Scary Apothecary series, and I've got them all in my hands now. What I did is I took, oh my gosh, here's my notes. I took all of the colors that are, oh my gosh, that was dumb. That was the chart. Took all of the colors that are used, and I pulled out my DMC book, and I looked at the DMC color that's listed, and then I pulled out my drawer of fancy floss for those colors and picked a whole, you know, fancy floss palette based on those DMC colors, and it looked great. But then after I did that, I looked at it and went, I want something a little bit brighter. So I pulled out the drawers again and pulled a brighter color, a brighter version of each color. So here's what I've got going. I'm super excited to work on this. And I think I'm gonna stitch it on opal white even weave. So here's my colors. Is that not awesome? I think that's gonna just be gorgeous. Super excited. And that's a mix of Color and Cotton, Victorian Motto, and Mo's Sale floss. So now to pick a fabric, it's either going to be the opal white even weave, or I'm going to find a very, very subtle gray hand-dyed. I actually even pulled out a couple pieces of white Lugana, or no, white Monaco, I think, even weave that I have. And I might just try to dye it myself because I do have the pearl gray, what's that brand? Rit dye. So, we'll see. Haul. So, before I went on retreat, or was it right when I got home? I don't remember. There was a sale at Joann one day, and their fat quarters were 70% off. Got the itchy nose going on. Okay, so I don't know how many people get fat quarters at Joann, but that works out to be 89 cents for a fat quarter. Heck yeah. So I went and got 2 nice size stacks of fat quarters for finishing. There's a couple, I mean, I just grabbed, you know, these are all sparkle, different colors. Actually, I got a white one too. And then I got this print in a variety of options. Same print. And I got some batiks. I got these flamingos. Aren't those cool? I might use those for a project bag or something. You know, a project bag that I won't make, but a project bag or something. Oh, and these. So freaking adorable. Another, you know, project bag that I won't make. Oh, I missed sparkle. There was a green. So I think I got a good range of options with these fat quarters. And, you know, for little pillow finishes and whatnot, you don't need that much. So it'll be good to have on hand. I'll be set for a while. I also picked up 2 rolls. I thought they were going to be lots of different fabrics, but it turns out they just stacked them all. See? Anyway, but they're pretty. Dragonfly. Like the colors. So I got those because I was going to start quilting again, and look, I haven't yet. Okay, this is the insane part of haul. that I have to put a disclaimer on. This has been a collection building up over about a year with House of Meng. So House of Meng is amazing because she will let you just kind of keep adding to your pile until the shipping is most economical, which is great because she's not in country. So I've been claiming needle minders and actually got 2 pieces of hand-dyed Ada as well. And a scissor fob. And I've been claiming those, you know, like I said, for almost a year. Look at that. Isn't it adorable? And it finally got to the point where a big box was going to be economical to ship. Oops. But, as another disclaimer, I use these for gifts and stuff too because they're great. I'm not going to show you all of them because that would take too long, but here's one of the Sanderson sisters in Stitch. Let's see. I've got quite a bit of Disney. I've got Tinkerbell, and then I've got Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy. I have Moana and just this cute little seahorse. Oh, here's the other 2 Sanderson sisters. Perfect for the upcoming Halloween. A couple of mermaids. One of them's a Christmas holiday mermaid. A couple more Disney. Just another mermaid. She just does beautiful work. So that's some of my goodies here, and then like I said, a lot of these turn into gifts. This little scissor fob, oh my gosh, I can't get enough of this. Owl and a black cat. So cute. This was the bag of buttons that I got at Retreat, or that I stole from my mom at Retreat. There were, look at these are glass. There were some old things in there. So I've got just a little collection going on in here. So that was fun. My next issue of World of Cross Stitching came. And this was the freebie. Cute little hedgehog. There wasn't a ton in this issue that I really, you know, fell in love with. I mean, there's a couple things that I like, but this one's really cute. Here's a Halloween one. That one's really cute. And then I went to work and picked up my collection there. I have just a piece of purple Ada that Mo threw at me when I walked in the door and said, "Here, take this." Oh, I don't know. 32 count Dirty Belfast. Always a good one to have on hand. Nice neutral. And I just got a fat 1/8 of that one. I ordered this pattern apparently. It's cute. I'm sure I did order it. I just don't remember. And then I got Vintage Needle Arts Dream Big Little Mermaid. Super cute. There is, let's see. Model was stitched on 14 count. Hand-dyed Ada. Okay, so I'm not sure what kind of floss this uses because the E3849, I mean, I know that's a DMC. Oh, the 4030, maybe that's a variegated one. 793, I mean, I know that's a color, but then 3910, I'm not sure about that one either. It says they're all DMC. I'll have to check my stash for some of those. Let's see. This was the newest. No, this was the newest Biscornu of the month. This was an older one I hadn't gotten yet. And then the third part of Sleepy Hollow. The first part of Christmas Village. And I do intend on stitching these all as drums. Or finishing them all as drums. Stitching them and finishing them as drums. Picked up punch needle and primitive stitcher. And this is fall issue 2019. There's a great finishing article from Vanna, and it's finishing with wool. So that was a good one. I read through that right away. There was a punch needle in here that I saw, and what's the reason I bought the magazine? This one's really cute too, though. I need to get back to doing some punch needle. Oh, this was a Barbara Anna. I'm going to have to stitch that because it's Barbara Anna. For some reason, I just really like all of the ones she has in these magazines. Here's the one that I really like. Look at that owl. So cute. So cute. Yeah, that's about it. And then, of course, this year's issue of the Ornament magazine. This will likely be a first stitch out of here. I had an order from 123 Stitch not too long ago. I needed some 28 count black Jobelin, and I'm using that for the Tiny Modernist, the Words to Live By. Because I've decided that for black anymore, I'm not stitching on linen. Even weave I can handle, but linen's getting to be a little bit challenging at times. So I bought a fat half of that. And since nothing can travel alone, I got these two little kits. Those will stitch fast. This one's, you know, kind of intended for newer stitchers. So I got those two little kits, and then this was on sale, and I had never seen this pattern before. And this is a Cooler Classic. I just love it. I love it. I missed out on these on Stash Unload, so I did some searching and found them between two different Etsy shops. So I picked up this one. I'm trying to collect all of these. It's Stitchy Kitty, and it's the Moon, you know, the Kitty Moon series. And I'm having trouble finding them. I might even have this one already. There's a Christmas one out there. I either have this one already or I have the Christmas one. I can't remember, so I just ordered it before I lost out on it again. And then I did find the Valentine and the Easter. I know that there's a St. Patrick's Day one. I've seen it. I don't know what else there may be that I'm missing. I mean, it's a series that I would think was a 12 part, you know, I'm guessing it was one a month, but maybe not. So if you run across Stitchy Kitty Moons, I'm interested. And last, I have 2 new project bags from Stash Unload. And these are all fabric with the flap. So the first one is obviously these sunflowers. And they're quilted. Now that I've showed them, I can use them because I have projects to put in them. And look at these skeletons, aren't they? They're just so fun. And then it's lined, this one is lined with orange. And then I do have a lot more project bags coming from Brenda. She ran a sale. Brenda's, she does needle minders. What's the group name? Brenda's Minders. I don't want to give you the wrong one. Let me look it up for you. Brenda's Minders and More. That's what it is. So I ordered a bunch of project bags and a grime guard. The grime guard was a gift, so that's actually already done and on its way to me. So I can get that in the gift and sent out. And then a couple needle minders too, I think. But the project bags, those will take a little while because she had a lot of different orders for those. So it'll be exciting when those come. I think I ordered 6. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. So that's all I have. I'm super excited that I got to start this episode with so many FFOs. Don't expect that again for another year. It's just, yeah, it's about how it works for me, doesn't it? Let's see. Update on life. Ethan's still doing great with school. He just seems almost like a complete different kid from last year already too. Just much more confident and really seems to be enjoying it. So it's good. And he's doing really great with reading. Like there's been a few times now where he just will sit down and read something, you know, and he actually almost read an entire book to Ellery the other night. One of those, you know, beginner reader level 1 things, but read almost the entire thing himself. You know, he just needed help with a couple words. So that was awesome. Ellery's the big kid at daycare now. She's doing good. She's not getting into too much trouble. Work is work. Same old, same old. Same for Brian. Let's see. We had some fun yesterday. We took the kids. We were invited by another family and good friends of ours. We went to a local place called Zap Zone. It used to be just laser tag. It's now expanded. Like there's putt-putt, and it's all indoors. There's putt-putt. But it's all under black light with, you know, neon. It's glow golf. So we did that. That was insane with 4 kids. And Ellery actually won a free game. She got on the last hole, she got the ball in the free game one. So there was that, and then they did arcade games. You know, all those arcade games you spend so much money on and then get crap prizes that you just want to put in the trash right away. So it was actually a decent deal. It was $25 for 125 tokens. So, I mean, it kept the kids occupied for a while. It would have been, you know, even better if we'd switched days probably, because yesterday was just absolutely gorgeous out. The temperature was great. Brian actually got the entire lawn mowed because it wasn't too hot. There was a nice breeze. I've had the windows open. And today we've had rain a couple times already. And sun in between. It's been kind of weird. But it was a good afternoon though. We had fun. Tomorrow is back to work. I don't have to work a full week again though, because Friday I'm using my school and community service leave. We get 8 hours a year at the state. I'm using that on Friday. I'm going to go stitch with my mom, and we're doing charity quilts. And I think the group that we're doing the quilts for now is either Homeless Angels or a hospice group, maybe. I can't remember, but there was an organization that's in need of quilts. They've kind of run out of the donations that the Quilt Guild has given them, so we're going to be working on those. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I know as soon as I turn off the stupid iPad, I'm going to think of something. But I don't know what it is. So I'm just going to let you guys go. I'm hoping to keep everything updated on Instagram with especially that new piece that I started stitching last night. I didn't stitch the entire week. Last night was my first time stitching since I came home from retreat, so I need to get back into the swing and remember to post things. So I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. It is Sunday afternoon. It's 4:30, so I'm gonna upload this, and then Brian is planning on staying at his parents' with the kids and having dinner there, so I'm gonna sit on the couch and stitch and watch TV, I guess. Maybe I'll have peanut butter and jelly for dinner. I don't know. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. Have a great week stitching. And maybe you guys could come back with some FFOs like I did, right? Talk to you later.